Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Mistonia's Hope. Technically continuing, but wrapping up Alfred's route. So we got his happy ending last time, and now we are going to do the bad endings. So I've loaded up our save file 1. We are going to get the clown end, which is the tragic end. So I also noticed, so this ending and save file 2, which is the bad end, the ashtray as it's titled, unlock CGs. We're missing those. But the version of the CG where we stab the queen through Alfred is only one of 2. So I'm going to guess this ending has a variation there. Maybe because this one has more options. Like we go through a couple more choices and we go through that last choice where we meet Alfred like in the apartment or whatever. So I'm going to assume this one, these couple of choices lead us to that ending, and the ending is just changed, and Alfred probably doesn't make it, I would guess. That would be the tragic ending. Because the bad end is the one where we just have we're friends, we're lovers, whatever, when Lucas is interrogating us, and that's the only choice. We hit that choice here too, so. Anyway, let's go. So we are going to say, show concern for his health. Are you perhaps not feeling well? Okay. There was a confused look on Alfred's face, as if he didn't understand my question. I was just curious because when we clicked on it, it said red, and I'm like, well, you mean you're only going to skip the red stuff, right? Like, my brain didn't process properly. I'm fine. What made you think that? How do I explain? I feel like you look different than usual. I'm the same as usual, though. Look, he's blushing, and we got some points for him. It appeared that my concern took him completely off guard. For some reason, he looked at me with a worried expression. Rather than me, aren't you the one who's feeling unwell? Why are you suddenly concerned about me? If you need rest, there's a couch in the back. You can use that to nap. I was just a little worried, that's all. Instead of thanking Alfred for his off-base suggestion, I pouted and glared at him to end the conversation. Okay. That's where we punch the wall because we're mad, and okay. So, I don't know if this has a skip to next choice option. I wonder. While you're watching it skip, let's see if there is because like Atome Kitten will sometimes put in her things about the game, like pros. Localization is a few typos. Let's see. Chapter select, flowchart, scrapbook, skip to the next choice function. There is one, so I got to figure out how that worked out. It's always different in games. So we're friends. Okay, so this is the same thing we chose. Ah, yes. Okay. It's just the tap up on the joystick. That's usually what it is, but you never know. Okay, so now we're in the thing, the apartment, and he's holding our hand, and we're going to pull our hand away. Let go. I yanked my hand away with all my strength. I feared my feelings would overflow if I didn't. Look how sad we made him, and he's gonna die now. This kid's gonna kill him. This is what kills him. Alfred stepped back, looking unusually hurt. I felt a slight surge of guilt when I saw him like that. Sorry. I'm sorry, too. It was selfish of me to feel this much pain in my heart when I was the one who pulled away from him. Even so, I couldn't help but grip the hand that still held Alfred's warmth well. Okay, and I don't think we didn't lunge into his arm there. That changes the scene. Or no, actually, did we had we already hugged him and then we were pulling away and then he'd like stay like this and we were like, okay. But anyway, we're with the queen now. We might as well just skip to this. So here's Alfred doing his damnedest to save us. We're going to get the thing, being beautiful. The clown. Okay, now we're in the clown ending, which is our tragic end. Don't get in the way, Elle! You're such a nuisance! Elsie, 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 Elsie! The barrier shattered with the loud crack, and the queen forced her arm further in. So we're saying similar lines, but I won't let you have her. Look at his beautiful wings. How fucking beautiful. Okay, see, you don't see the thigh strap, is all I'm saying. We saw it in that CG. Where the fuck is it in his thing? You will never get spacey. The cracked, nearly broken barrier regained its strength. The flow of protective barrier that encircled us shifted, wrapping around the queen instead and stripping away her freedom. She stopped? That's what I thought at first, at least. Did you really think this was enough to stop me? You've grown careless, Al. The queen swung her free hand to the side. The barrier that had confined her cracked and fell apart in an instant. No longer contained, she swung her arm again and sent a blade-like gust of wind hurtling toward Alfred. Oh, okay, we got that animated. Alfred cast a third barrier, even with the fierce wind shredding his skin. However, it was obvious that he'd reached his limit. Alfred turned his head slightly and met my eyes. I knew what he wanted. Are you really sure about this? We couldn't waste any time. Still, I couldn't help but ask. I deliberated over what action to take so many times, but the affection that had grown within me made my vulnerable side come out. However, Alfred remained silent but gave a faint nod in response to my question. There was no hesitation in his eyes, only a peaceful acceptance of death, as though he had already come to terms with being killed by me. As soon as I realized that, I heard the distinct sound of something inside me breaking. You think I'll be able to accept your death, don't you? Fine. In that case, I shifted the angle of my sword and thrust it with all my might, piercing both Alfred and the queen. And I believe this is the same version of the CG, but it is going to change, but it looks the same, so. My disguise unraveled as I changed my magic as a demi-fae. I focused all my strength into the sword. So see, my disguise unraveled as I channeled my magic. Okay, did it say that the last time and I missed it because I was like, we're stabbing Alfred? Like, I don't know. Don't tell me. The blade I drove into Alfred pierced straight through him, as intended, and continued into the queen, who'd reached for us. Blood gushed from Alfred's stabbed back, staining my hands on the sword's hilt. Despite that, I pressed the sword deeper. The wind grazed my cheek, severing the ribbon on my bonnet, but I never loosened my grip. Okay, so this is basically the same at the moment. Upon hearing the queen's pitiful cry, I yanked the sword out with all my might. Alfred collapsed as though a thread had been snapped. He landed in the pool of blood at his feet, unconscious. See, this is different. Ouch! The queen was on her knees, chest heaving as she gasped for breath, yet she still managed to look up at me. Come here, please. Elsie. Elsie! She extended her hand to me once again, seemingly oblivious to the blood staining her flawless skin and beautiful clothes. I readied the sword, about to plunge it into the queen. All right, that's enough. Oh, are we going to kill Oberon now? The pocket watch floated in front of me, revealing Oberon in the form of a bird. Interesting that he shows up in bird form. Oh, no, there he is. In an instant, the bird turned into a young man with beautiful wings. He didn't meet my eyes, focused solely on the blood-soaked queen. So, this was your doing? How could you? The queen glared at him with hate-filled eyes, perhaps understanding everything with Oberon's arrival. Finally, she lost consciousness and fell. This marks the end of our contract. Good job, Spacey. That was fast. I still haven't finished off the queen. Oberon held back his laughter. He turned his gaze to me lazily and shrugged. I knew you'd try to kill her. Unfortunately, I'm not going to let you. I thought back to when I'd made the contract with Oberon. He had said he wanted his wing back from the Queen, but he never talked about what he'd do afterward. You've tricked me all along, huh? You're right on that, Mark. But you're surprisingly calm. Oberon looked at me with suspicion, showing no opening. Just as he said, I felt eerily calm despite having been deceived. I understand you used your wing as bait and that you wanted to bring the Queen back with you. I looked at the fallen Alfred, making sure he was completely unconscious. If you wish to take that woman with you, then go right ahead. I tossed the sword away, throwing it in the opposite direction of the Queen. I lifted my blood-stained hands, showing I harbored no hostility. What exactly are you planning? You're being too cooperative. It's creepy. To be honest, I want to deliver the final blow. It's only fair, right? She stole my life from me, along with everyone else's. No matter how many times I stab her, it won't be enough. There's no way I can forgive her after so much suffering. Anger boiled deep within me and would never subside. But you see, just a moment ago, I realized I've come to desire something else very much apart from the Queen. I knelt beside Alfred, who'd collapsed to the floor, and moved to stop the bleeding from the wound I'd given him. Oberon remained in place, watching me silently. I softly brushed aside the hair covering Alfred's pale face. You're not going to start talking about a future with him, are you? You're going to live for love now? Not that you seem particularly happy about it. How I wished it were as beautiful as it sounded. I quietly tended Alfred's wounds, then looked up at Oberon. Oh well, like I said before, our contract's ended, and that concludes the enhancement of your face side hand. I can't allow that. I clutched the pocket watch against my chest and clenched my right hand defensively. My hand stained by Alfred's blood. Oberon gave me a look. It was as if he were staring at something he couldn't understand. What are you trying to do? You've already settled things with Tia. You don't need that anymore, do you? No. I still need this power. Even if I keep strengthening you with my wing, your body won't hold up for long. You understand what that means, don't you? Yes. I'm prepared for that. This is different than I expected it. Okay. Oberon's unwavering gaze seemed to probe for my intentions. If it had been before I'd made my decision, his otherworldly eyes may have frightened me. But I'm not afraid anymore. Didn't I help you achieve your goal? Please grant me my selfish wish. You're a king. You should reward those who work for you. Fine. Do whatever you want. I'll let you keep it for a while longer. With that, Oberon quickly lost interest in me and looked away. He went to the motionless Queen. The way he tenderly lifted her in his arms spoke volumes of his barely contained, overwhelming love. It's so funny because she hates him, but he's like doing it. He's like, yeah, I want to take her down because I want to save her. Like, that's kind of adorable, though. Still, I still think it's adorable. He may have tricked us, but look, he's blushing. He's still in love with her. I warned you, Tia. Had you returned with me back then, you wouldn't be in this situation now. Oh, run! The Queen called his name in a voice filled with loathing, but Oberon appeared satisfied, even thrilled. It's so funny, she hates him so much, and he's like, God, I love her. All the men like a vicious woman in this one, damn. Everything was just a fleeting dream. Let's return to Tir na Nog. No, I don't want to. I'm still... Elsie! No! Oberon's face twisted into a satisfied smile when she screamed. He wrapped his arms around the struggling Queen tightly. Oh, he likes it when she screams. There's some weird shit going on with these two. Far be it for me to, like, yuck their yum or, like, kink shame, because, I mean, we throw knives at our boyfriend. The pair disappeared, leaving behind only silence and Alfred's heavy breathing. As the Fae disappeared, I heard the sound of footsteps hurrying in our direction. Lady, are you okay? John arrived, gasping for air. He relaxed, relieved to find me unharmed. His eyes moved to Alfred, who remained in the pool of blood, motionless. Isn't all over. Your revenge. 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 That word repeated in my head over and over again. Oh, you're back already. You should have said hello when you walked in. I'm assuming we're John again this time?
I was staring at the ceiling absent-mindedly when Goneril came out from the back, grumbling. Oh, my bad. I just got back.
Jeez, you look so lifeless. You know that, right? Well, whatever. Did you find any new information?
Goneril's frustrated look bored into me as I slowly pieced together what I had gathered in the city and began to speak. The news of the Queen's disappearance has reached Fremdeland. There are some moderates, but the headliners are the dominant force right now. That's about all I've uncovered so far. Looks like they're finally gearing up for a full-scale invasion.
All right. It looks like things aren't going to settle down anytime soon.
The Raven's operation on the day of the exhibition proved successful, at least in terms of the results. No one had been there to witness it, but the powerful Demi-Fae instinctively sensed the Queen's disappearance from the mortal realm. The Queen had been the absolute protector of this nation for hundreds of years since its founding, but now she was gone. She'll never return here again. Amid the turmoil caused by the Queen's absence, I started helping Goneril with her informant work.
I never thought it'd come to this. So what happened with that thing? She asked you about it, didn't she?
It's progressing smoothly. A few of the Cresswells left today. Tomorrow it'll be the Bernsteins.
Are we really going on murdering them all? So, like, even though we love Alfred, we still let him die? Oh, ouch. That's why it's the clown ending. Because he's a clown thinking that we weren't actually going to kill him, or maybe hoping because he fell in love with us. And we were like, yeah, I love you too, but like stabbing is still more important. I mean, I figured that was going to happen, but damn.
I looked away from Goneril to ease the irritation building within me. Honestly, I can't care less about it. The only thing that came to mind was her.
I'm begging you, John. You're the only one I can rely on. I've already decided. This is my...
You're so stupid, Spacey. I wanted to scold her, but she wasn't here.
Ooh. Someone, I don't know who's saying, so you're here after all. I've been staring at the sky, memories on my mind, when I suddenly heard a familiar voice. I turned to the voice and found Lucas standing there, unusually serious.
You don't look so well. It's as if the shadow of death is hanging over you.
How rude to speak to a young lady like that out of the blue. Now, tell me, what brings you here? What do you want from me?
There's something I want to ask you, actually. The fact that I even came here should tell you everything. I know who you are. I also know what you've been doing. And that makes me even more confused. Why haven't you killed me? Surely you've long suspected my connection to the destruction of this village.
It's interesting because she's killing everyone, but she doesn't know that everyone's connected. Yet. But she's just assuming. Answer me. You're a bad liar, too.
What are you saying?
You're obviously not here to ask me that. You're worried about me. It's written all over your face. My, you sure have a kind heart, Lord Lucas.
What kind of foolish nonsense is that?
Yeah, well. The reason why I haven't killed you, I'll tell you since you asked. That's because I wanted to kill you here. Oh, look! They changed her sprite! Now she got a dagger! Are we...
And this place is... Before I knew it, I stood alone in the middle of an unfamiliar road.
How long have I been here? I should be. My head felt foggy. I couldn't remember what I had been doing just moments ago. I looked around, still dazed, trying to make sense of the situation. Ruins. And this doesn't look like anywhere I know. Wait, no. That's not true. I knew this place. Eltbeek Village. The sight before me was the symbol of an unforgivable sin I had committed. The once beautiful village was no longer here. Only its charred remains were left. I put up the barrier even though I knew people would lose their lives. This is the consequence of my actions. I hadn't forgotten over the past 8 years, but I couldn't deny that I'd tried to ignore the guilt. The question is, why am I here? I searched through my memories, trying to recall what happened before I'd found myself standing here. The ravens, the exhibition, the queen. Events that had happened in quick succession swirled through my mind.
They put a lot of depth into the other endings.
Don't tell me.
She stabbed me and then, oh, I know. I lost consciousness. How pathetic. I just couldn't remember what happened after that. I didn't even know what had become of the queen. The sword she'd thrust into me had certainly pierced through me and struck the queen. I didn't know if it had been a fatal blow, however. She must have faced consequences as well. What became of her? My heart belonged to Spacey. I'd felt something strange the last time our eyes had met, but I couldn't remember why. Is she all right? I hope she isn't in pain or distress.
Are we sharing a body with Alfred now or some shit? Like, what is happening here?
The thoughts of her filled me with unease. She'd certainly been behind me when I'd collapsed. I looked around, and there was no trace of her. I didn't even know why I was here in the first place. I need to get back to Rowan, and there's no use in staying here.
Because, like, why is he here suddenly?
I made up my mind and walked toward the edge of the village. The map I'd studied 8 years ago was still sharp in my mind. I wonder if Leonardo and everyone else in the Ravens are safe. And did the plan succeed? What's happened to the country? I was overcome with curiosity about what had happened after I'd collapsed. It was as if a dam had broken. My feet moved faster.
Or is he a ghost?
It wasn't long before I arrived at the edge of a dense forest that surrounded the village. But why can't I enter the forest? Even though the path ahead was clear, something kept me from moving forward. Even when I tried entering in a different spot, it was the same.
Is he a ghost and we wanted to kill everyone in Eltbeek Village so that and we're using the power of, like, Oberon's power to trap their spirits here? Because that's some kind of crazy shit. Our revenge is making them, like, forever exist here in Eltbeek Village and, like, see what you've done!
Soon enough, I figured out what caused this strange phenomenon. It was simple, something I knew all too well. Why is a barrier here? I tentatively extended a hand and was gradually pushed back. The barrier blocking my path was certainly the work of House Cresswell. Obviously, it wasn't something I had made. What's going on here? The instant that doubt arose, the scene around me changed entirely. Roaring flames closed in. Only then did I come to a realization.
Stop, bird.
Oh, I get it. And this is the anguish they felt that day. It was the event that had pushed her into a dark path. I wonder if I was experiencing the pain they went through, trapped with no escape as they fell in agony. No matter how much I try to justify it, what I did can never be excused. I've known it all this time. I will face whatever consequences are to come. After everything I did, it's only right. The heat of the flames burned my skin. I closed my eyes and endured the suffering as a scorching wind blew against me. In the end, my only regret is that I caused Spacey to stain our hands with blood. I wished to see that innocent, carefree smile. I longed to be by her side. I wished I had told her that I loved her. It's all too late now. My body, my status, my honor, they're all burning away.
Sir! Oh, no, he ain't dead. He's just tortured. Interesting. All right. I was okay.
My eyes snapped open. A familiar ceiling lay above me. They put a lot of effort into these endings, is all I'm saying. Leonardo gazed down at me, tears in his eyes.
Sir Al! Thank goodness you're awake!
Leonardo wept as I lay there, confused about what had transpired. I realized what was going on. What I'd seen earlier had been a dream. I survived.
Obviously, there's no way you'd die. The blade missed all your vital spots, but you were bleeding terribly. You'd already lost consciousness by the time I arrived. I thought you were dead for a moment.
Leonardo choked on his words and wiped his messy face with an arm, trying to hide his tears.
Thank God. It truly...
I wanted to comfort the sobbing Leonardo and pat his head, but I couldn't move properly. It didn't feel like my body was my own. My eyes were open, but it still didn't feel like I'd survived. If I made it out alive, then what about her? Where's Spacey? My gaze wandered around the room, but I didn't spot the person I was looking for. Is she okay, Leonardo? Leonardo flinched.
You mean Spacey?
I nodded, the pain in my chest lingering. Leonardo didn't reply right away. Seeing Leonardo struggling to find the right words only made my worry intensify. And what happened? Did the plan succeed?
Yeah, about that.
The noise outside the window suddenly grew louder as I pressed the boy for an answer.
Please help us, Lord Alfred! The Queen's gone and now the 5 houses are too! What'll become of our country? Answer me! How did it come to this? Take responsibility!
What's all this commotion about? The country falling into chaos after the Queen disappeared was inevitable. I made all the necessary arrangements and took precautions in advance for that very reason. What happened to the other 5 houses? The yelling from outside made no sense. Seeing my confusion, Leonardo finally spoke up.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry things turned out this way, but...
Calm down. What are the other 5 houses doing right now? What about Edward? I knew there'd be chaos, so I had entrusted Edward, who was secretly on our side, with the post-exhibition arrangements. Well, now we know Edward's involved. I mean, we kind of got the hint at the end in the good route when it was like, Edward helped out, blah, blah, blah. But it could have been like, but the way it was in the good ending was like, oh, Edward helped out after the fact, not he knew what was going on the whole time. But, I mean, he'd be the easiest person to like pull in and have help because, let's be real. It's Edward. He's a fucking delicate flower. You're like, the Queen is mean to people? And he'd be like, I totally agree. Yes, let's overthrow her. But do I have to get my hands stained? Like, he'd want to, like, to be fair, he'd want to solve everything with hugs. But, you know, we'll take care of the stabbing, but he's down for helping people, so. Leonardo!
He's dead. He was murdered. Not just Edward, but Lucas too. Why did Spacey do this?
The sudden mention of her name sent a chill down my spine. You mean she was the one behind it? Leonardo didn't answer. Instead, he turned his face away slightly.
We still haven't figured everything out, but please, get some rest for now, sir.
Leonardo turned and left the room. A quiet stillness followed. What in the world is going on?
And why she left you alive to save you to the end because she loves you, so she wants you to look her in the eye when she stabs you.
Despite there being so many things I needed to investigate, the physical pain and overwhelming fatigue forced my mind to shut down. How much time had passed since then? The painkillers began to wear off, and I was pulled from my sleep. Night had settled outside the window. I slowly exhaled in the dark as I watched. Then,
Is it us?
the door opened quietly, and I sensed someone enter the room. Is that you, Leonardo?
No, it's me.
My heart raced at the sound of that voice.
Ooh, is this where we kill him? Are we gonna kill him? We have to get a CG in this part.
You're safe.
His voice was filled with joy. I moved closer to the bed and looked down at Alfred. Kiss him before you kill him, okay?
And what happened after I blacked out? I didn't even know if you were safe. Tell me everything.
Did Leonardo not tell you?
He did, but I don't believe it. I can't imagine you killing Edward and Lucas.
A laugh escaped my throat. I couldn't hold it back after hearing that. Alfred was at a loss for words. I placed a hand on my chest, making sure I appeared to be a wicked woman. Leonardo told you the truth. I killed both of them. Oh, I don't know why I was going to slip back into reading as Alfred. The ever-eloquent Alfred was left speechless on the bed. It was amusing. Why did you think I wouldn't kill the 5 houses? Did you believe I wasn't that kind of woman? You know nothing, and yet... Look at how scared he looks. Look at his scared little face. We're making our man afraid of us. God, I love it. I leaned down until I was right in front of Alfred's wide eyes. You're worried about the 5 houses? You were the one who thought it didn't matter if you died that day. Then, my revenge isn't over yet. I will kill everyone who drove my family to death. But I'll save you for last. So until then, do feel free to suffer.
Enough. I'm the only one you should kill. Stop this madness.
No, I'm not stopping. Especially after you said that. This is my revenge. I pulled back gradually and stepped away from the bed. Alfred reached for my arm, but it was easy to dodge him. You're so pathetic, Lord Alfred. With that, I quietly left the room. And it's like, she does love him, but her revenge is so much more powerful that she's going to torture him. Oh. Oh. After that, I don't know whose this is. Oh.
How did things turn out this way? Still unable to leave bed, I was handed a special edition of the newspaper with the obituaries. Even Linus and Ascot.
I don't know, stabbing Ascot sounds like fun. Listen, I love him, but I don't know.
I could do nothing but tremble in frustration at my own helplessness as I held the paper. Leonardo walked up to me, noticing my pale expression. He handed me a letter nervously.
This just arrived. I think it's from her.
Although the sender wasn't named, I knew it was from her. I had Leonardo leave the room, then opened the letter. Written in Spacey's familiar handwriting was a resolve to change the form of a revenge against me and what had truly happened since the exhibition.
Dear Lord Alfred Cresswell, by the time this letter reaches you, everything will likely be over. On the day of the exhibition, you consented to your death at my hands and chose to ignore my feelings for you. I've come to realize that you ultimately prioritized the future of the country and relief from your guilt over your regard for me. Okay, see, now we've lost it a little. You know what I mean? Now she's like, you love this country and everybody else over me. Girl, that's a little fucking unhinged and kind of selfish psycho bitch. I'm here for it, though. I'm here for our descent into psycho bitch. But it's psycho bitch, let's be real. In that moment, I decided to take a different sort of revenge on you.
The resolve with which she wrote the letter left me breathless, a quiet sigh escaping me. I quickly read the rest. I wandered through the streets while you were asleep, determined to find the best way to torment you. I just so happened to be at the scene where Edward was killed. That was when the idea first occurred to me. If I slaughter the 5 houses, especially as a Randolph, I will be executed as a criminal. Meanwhile, you'll live your life bound to your country, the last of the 5 houses. Your kindness will make people cling to you, and death will be your only escape. And you will remain forever trapped in your guilt. I'll always be the embodiment of guilt in your heart. How wonderful that'll be. Even after my death, you'll never forget me, and will only continue suffering.
I mean, this is like chef's kiss revenge. Not, I'm going to kill you. I know how much you love me. I'm going to go kill all your friends, so you got no one. And then I'm going to let them execute me, so you have to live with that forever. Fuck! This is a master class in villainy! James Bond villains ain't got nothing on applesauce. Applause for applause.
Again, because a prose was applause, and then applesauce. So, like, well,
no wonder why they were going to call her applause. Because she deserves all of it. She deserves all the rounds of applause. I'm just saying, like, she earned her namesake. Like, let's be real. Oh my God.
That was why I silently watched as the 5 houses were attacked. I allowed the weak to escape, but almost all of the members of the 5 houses were wiped out, except for you. There was only one person who carried guilt like you. Now forget it. Before writing this letter, I reported to the yard that I was the one who had killed the 5 houses. It looks like they're here. Should you be able to move, come and witness my final moments if you have even the slightest feelings for me. Spacey E. Randolph. It wasn't her who killed the 5 houses, but the enraged citizens.
I don't know, I feel like we might have killed Lucas.
She deliberately spread the word that she was the one behind it. That why I would carry the weight of the country all by myself after having lost everyone I loved and trusted. How did it come to this? I held my head in my hands, confused. Leonardo rushed back into the room, panting.
She's been caught! Everyone knows she's the descendant of the traitor Randolph! She's about to be executed!
Despite Leonardo's protest, I forced myself out of bed. I dragged my weary feet and rushed to her.
Is he going to get dressed up like a show pony again? Like, yeah, he did. But he didn't put his hat on. That tells you how rushed he is. But I remember, he put his ribbon on, but not his hat. He ain't that rushed.
I watched from the alley as Alfred
Somebody's saying this. I watched from the alley as Alfred Cresswell sluggishly hurried past me. Oh, it's John.
Are you sure about this? You want to save her, don't you?
Goneril had been beside me all this time, furrowed her brows as if she foresaw what was coming. She sounded serious. You've seen right through me. Yeah, I want to save her. Of course I do. However, she didn't ask me to save her. I'll keep an eye on him. Rest easy, milady.
Foolish kids.
Do you need a break, buddy? My God, though. Like, this end is intense and torturous. And they weren't like, oh, okay, and then he died. They're like, no, let's keep writing this and making it torturous. This ending is its own part. Like, Pinky Booger. Okay. I have no idea who we are now. Are we still... Okay, well, I'm just going to... Someone was being showered with jeers and insults in the middle of the execution grounds. I don't know who it is. Oh, this is our CG. Stop it. Look at how fucking tortured he looks. And she's just like, this is my revenge. Like, she's lost her fucking marbles. She's lost the motherfucking plot. And look at him. Oh, this is so awful. Worst CG ever. Oh, because it hurts.
It's Spacey.
You murderer! It's because of you that the country's in chaos! Just die already! You're a disgrace to the 5 houses! Randolph really was a traitor!
Angry citizens blocked my way. I couldn't get any closer to her. No, that's not it! She hasn't killed anyone! She's not to blame! The swirling storm of angry shouts drowned out my voice. And no matter how much I screamed, my words never reached her. Please, don't cause her any more pain. Both her and her family. And then I caught her eye and her lips slowly formed words. I love you. My hands couldn't reach her, and the girl who truly only wished for happiness was stained with blood.
Oh! It was the final fucking nail in his coffin, is telling him we loved him before we let people kill us.
And so began my unending nightmare.
This really was a clown end. Motherfucker! Shit! Fuck!
何度もあの手紙を読み返しては後悔に襲われる。お前を犠牲にこの国を立て直すことが苦痛でたまらない。いっそ全てを放り投げられたら。だがそんなことをすればお前は今度こそ私を許してはくれないだろう。ままならないな。
Oh. I didn't realize we were going to get one of those at the end of the... I don't know if we're going to get that at the bad ending, but we get it. Okay, so now we know. We get the... As soon as that CG came back, I was like, wait, he's going to start talking. So, again, hopefully it's loud enough. If not, sorry, Bird, I need my hand back. If not, I'll like I said, I'll try to turn it up in post-production. Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God! The bad endings in this, fuck, those clown endings are just chef's kiss. They're so fucking good. Oh my God! Anyway, so now we're going to get our bad ending, which should be a little bit faster, but who knows? That one took 40 fucking minutes. That was the longest bad ending in history, but shit! So, we're going to say we're lovers. Does Lucas think Alfred and I look like lovers? Lily and Ascot had certainly questioned our relationship, but I never expected Lucas to press the issue like this. If I have to explain our relationship, we certainly weren't lovers. There was nothing so soft and sweet between us. If anything, we were the complete opposite. This was a temporary alliance born of our personal agendas and resentment. Our interests just happened to align. Alfred said that he'd give me his life after the Queen had been dealt with. That was the only reason we joined forces. What's troubling you? Don't stay quiet. Just tell me already. I don't really know what you mean, Lord Lucas. There's nothing going on between me and Lord Alfred. You're lying. Interesting. Okay, so I don't think when we said we're friends, we got like any kind of points here. We got points for Lucas here, which are probably bad points. I flinched at his firm tone. I would assume that that's probably it. Like those, like this, that aren't Lucas points or whatever. It's just always, Lucas is always here. Those are probably like, that's probably the love catch. Like if you get the crystal or whatever for any of them, that is probably like bad revenge thing. So we've probably made then throughout this bad choices, but we're doing the good and the bad so that we don't have to go back and go, in order to get the bad ending, choose all these wrong things, and then we have to skip through 60 million times. You know what I mean? But I'm telling the truth. The fact that you're struggling to answer suggests you're hiding something. He'd hit a nerve. I bit the inside of my cheek. Lucas wouldn't be satisfied until I said something. We really don't have that kind of relationship, though. A memory then came to mind. You don't need to listen to me, but you must avoid the risk. You have something you need to achieve, don't you? You're not someone who would usually overlook that. Alfred tried to stop me back then. He was worried about me. I could still feel his hand gripping my arm. Deep down, I was secretly happy about it. Did something come to mind? Lucas watched me closely as I remained silent. I searched for a way to brush his question off. Lord Alfred is kind and thoughtful. He shows concern for me, a maid, but that's all there is. So you're suggesting he shows the same attitude to others as well? Okay, so then Alfred's coming in. And this after we knocked him out. Okay, I just want to see how this changes. Okay, and this is where they come in and he protects us. We use our power to save him. Okay. Are we still going to get to the... Oh, the astray. It's the astray, not the ashtray. Okay, I can't read, guys. Wow. The astray. The day after the hideout had been attacked, I reported on everyone's safety to John. I readied myself at my room in the Bernstein mansion, disheartened by how shocked I was at being named a suspect.
I'm thankful for the help, but I can't trust her anymore.
So what if people suspect me? It's no big deal. The moment I tried to brush it off, Alfred's face came to mind, and a sharp pain shot through my chest. Why am I so shaken? Why do I even care about being suspected? I tried to ignore my inner turmoil by immersing myself in my work.
Lord Lucas has requested tea. Prepare it and bring it to the parlor.
Very well. I had a bad feeling. He was calling for me now of all times, but I couldn't possibly refuse with Nicholas around. We might have to, okay, because the last part to get the good ending was like a half an hour over. I don't want this to be an hour and a half. Because again, I could use the buffer. So if these endings are both, I figured this one, like a bad ending, might be a little bit shorter. But if this is also going to be like a 40-minute part, we might actually like split up the bad endings into 2 parts. You know what I mean? Because like, again, I could use the buffer just from Christmas break and coming back and being like, by the time I get back and can record again, I'm only going to be like maybe a week ahead, if that. If that! I might not even have enough stuff to go up for that week. I don't know where we are right now. Like, I might be like, fuck, I'm gonna come back and be like, I have nothing for next week to post. You know what I mean? So,
He specifically requested you. Do you know why?
No. Perhaps he took a liking to the Darjeeling I brewed for him the other day.
Is that really why? Well, never mind. Let me know if anything comes up.
Very well. Lucas, what is he really after? There was no use dwelling on it here. I gathered my thoughts and decided to visit Lucas. Good morning. Come in. When I entered, I found Lucas sitting on the couch, waiting for my arrival. I figured you'd be nervous. Go ahead and take a seat there for now. He pointed to the couch across from him as he spoke. Would you like some tea? I don't need any. I mean, you should have known that was just an excuse to call you here. Sit down already. Or are you planning to mess with my perception with that right hand of yours? The trump card Lucas brought out was more than enough to make me comply. I took a seat like Lucas had said, locking eyes with him as I faced him head on. What could this possibly be about? I haven't the faintest idea. Stop with that fake tone of yours. Clashes too much with the information I've been told. Information you've been told? It's from someone you know well. They helped me realize who you truly are. The hand I had on my knee dug into my leg harder than I realized. Lucas waved me off, perhaps noticing my bloodlust. Stop it, bird! I'm just sitting here with my remote in my lap and he just bit me like you're being a dick. You were being a feisty asshole. Don't glare at me. I've had my suspicions about you for a while. I'll say this up front. I'm not going to tell anyone else. Do you expect me to believe that? I glared at him suspiciously. Lucas heaved a sigh. If I was going to, I would have already done it a long time ago. The fact that you're still acting as a servant here proves my point. I suppose. Seems you haven't told anyone else, seeing that no one has shown signs of suspicion toward me. Even so, my answer remained the same. I still couldn't trust him. Why did you call me here then? If you know who I am, you must realize that the situation is dangerous for both of us. I have no reason to talk to you if it puts me in danger. I stopped pretending and relaxed my tone. Lucas looked at me as if he found it amusing. I see. So this is your true nature. All right, I'll be a little more cautious then. His expression swiftly shifted, now serious.
I happened to have some business near Eden yesterday. I was passing by when the whole commotion started.
My hands trembled slightly. I usually wouldn't be shaken by something like this, but the events from yesterday still weighed on me.
I saw you there.
Are you sure you haven't made a mistake?
I hate to say it, but I'm confident in what I saw. You were definitely there with the Raven's parent, Alfred.
The Raven's parent? Clever indeed. But how did Lucas know Alfred's role? Cold tension filled the air. Lucas spoke in a tone that clearly suggested he wouldn't fall for any lies.
You're working with him, and you want to take revenge for what happened 8 years ago, correct?
I supposed it was time to stop hiding things from him, since he already knew that much. Yes, I came here for my parents, my brother, and everyone from the village. I could have sworn Lucas's expression changed when I said that, but he quickly regained his composure.
That makes sense. Rather, I don't see any other reason.
I glared at Lucas, who seemed convinced and wondered why my words and feelings were so mismatched. It's not really the case.
You go ahead with Leonardo. I'll stop them and follow after you.
What are you on about? You know you can't do that.
And this is part of the plan. I'll be a decoy and draw the ward's soldiers away. You take that chance to leave.
I felt the urge to protect him. Lucas snorted at my silence. I didn't know when I dropped my head, but I lifted my face and looked him straight in the eye.
You may be planning to take down the Queen alongside him, but I don't think it'll be that easy. Don't underestimate the Queen. She may be old, but she's still the only pure Fae in existence. Her status and power are a different caliber.
Are you saying Demi-Fae are no match for her?
That's right. Even if the 5 houses unite, taking her down will still be difficult. And that's a far-fetched idea in the first place.
Lucas paused, then slowly pointed at me. No, it's not! We know it works!
Only one person can possibly beat her, and that's you.
What are you trying to say? What do you know?
Those who possess the Fae-side hand are likely to have great power even among Demi-Fae, strong enough to be a vessel of a pure Fae.
That was an indisputable fact. If the Queen possessed me, this body would likely be transformed into a pure Fae. I've been chosen because I had the strength for it. Even if I'm strong, I'm still a Demi-Fae at the end of the day. The 5 houses can't win against her, like you said, then I'm powerless on my own. That's why I teamed up with Alfred, working on a plan to ensure the Queen's elimination.
Normally you'd be right, but look at it from another angle. What do you think will happen if the weak, insane Queen and your strong youthfulness will clash? A vessel strong enough to withstand the power of a pure Fae, both in mind and body. If it's you, taking over the Queen's consciousness may not be entirely impossible.
Huh?
That's the conclusion I've reached.
Me? Taking over the Queen's mind? I never even considered it. I'd need to confirm if it would be possible, but it seemed like it could work against the old Queen. Then we're gonna leap into her body! However, Lucas's motives remained unclear. Why are you telling me all this? You openly despise people. Surely you aren't offering this advice out of the goodness of your heart.
You're smart and not easily deceived. I'm sharing this with you because it works in my favor too. Should you acquire the Queen's power, I might get closer to my own desires.
Your own desires? Don't tell me...
Oh, so you figured it out? What you're thinking probably isn't wrong. All I want is to become a pure Fae. After you take over the Queen's consciousness, you might be able to make my wish come true.
I remembered hearing how Lucas wanted to become a pure Fae. I never thought he was serious, though.
I don't think your goals are foolish. You have a legitimate right to them more than anyone else.
I couldn't quite grasp what emotion was in Lucas's eyes, but it felt as if he were speaking to someone else through me.
You'll reach your goal if you take over the Queen, and I'll get closer to becoming a pure Fae through you.
I believe you had something to do with the incident 8 years ago. What makes you think I'll help you? I glared into his deep purple eyes. Lucas didn't flinch, instead squinting at me. He then delivered another cutting remark.
I get how you feel, and I'm not making an excuse. Let me put it another way. This plan should benefit that stubborn fool, too.
What do you mean?
Think about it. Someone's bound to get hurt if you follow through with your plan and attack the exhibition. The wards will also be involved. They're no easier to deal with than the Queen.
A valid point. I bit my lip unconsciously. The events at the hideout flooded back, and I found myself thinking about Alfred and Leonardo.
Calm down for a second and think. If my plan succeeds, you'll be liberated from those dark feelings.
Lucas stood and left the room, silent. Now alone, I couldn't move a muscle. If I can conquer the Queen's mind and take her place, I can put an end to this plan. End to this pain. I may be able to accomplish Alfred and the others' goals smoothly. Can't read. But that meant I'd have to fight by myself and rely solely on my own power. I cannot read right now. No one would be by my side. In the past, my mind would have been made up quickly. But now, I want to see Alfred. I don't want him to get hurt. These feelings are unnecessary. I felt overwhelmed, trapped in my thoughts.
My mind lingered on her as I closed the door. I never expected her to get so shaken over a rigid man like him. She must have figured out what Alfred did 8 years ago. It didn't seem like she'd learned what I'd done as his accomplice. He sure knew how to be absurdly upright when it suited him.
So, okay, he said accomplice, and so the accomplice was tied to that. Well, we didn't know. It's like, we don't know, but they probably all have some involvement. So, okay, now we know for a fact.
Ha! Liberated, huh? Just making excuses so I could turn a blind eye. The guilt from using her to fulfill my own desires left me utterly sick. I guess I'm no different from the people I loathe. I'm a selfish, egotistical fool. Still, I'll make sure to keep that promise I made him.
Interesting. My heart remained restless even when I cleaned the handrail as usual. Hold on. Hey, are you listening? I'd like to start on the windows soon. Yes? Should I wash the curtains next? Evelyn sighed and shook her head. The worry in her eyes outweighed any hint of frustration. You seem really drained. Why don't you ask Nicholas if you can go rest a little early today? I'm fine. You sure about that? Oh, well, you're only humane, so I suppose it's okay to be a little distracted sometimes. All right, let's clean the windows. Very well. I took the cloth and carefully wiped the window. Then Evelyn gently nudged me with her shoulder. Look, Lord Alfred's over there. I looked outside at her urging. Alfred was indeed in the garden. Oh, right. I need to clean the garden after this. Can you take care of that for me? I'll handle things here. God, Evelyn is such a bro. Her words sounded somewhat forced, but it wasn't actually a bad idea. I wouldn't have taken advantage of her considerate nature before, but things were different now. Got it. I'll be off then. Thanks, Evelyn. Oh, why are you thanking me? Cleaning's our job, after all. Off you go now. She thanked me with a wink. I thanked Evelyn, who smiled at me, before going to the garden. All right. I don't know if this ending's going to be super short or super long, but I am going to wrap this part up here, and we're going to finish up our bad endings in the next part. And then we'll do also our little side stories that unlocked. So, because I'm just assuming the bad endings are going to, so maybe what we could do for each love interest, depending, is do each bad ending in its own part. I don't think we'll do that, because then Alfred would miss out, because then we do a bad ending, and then you have a CG, and then you do another bad ending, and you have another CG, and then you'd have 3 CG times. But Alfred's really only got, the one and then the bad ending. So we'll just play it by ear as we go with the other love interests, play an hour and then wrap it up type of a thing. So if I had known that these were going to take almost an hour themselves to play, I'm not complaining about it. Like, damn, they put some effort into these bad endings. Instead of like, and then I stabbed him and he died, and okay, the end where it's like 3 or 4 lines and that's the ending. Like, they put some motherfucking effort into these. There was a whole other motherfucking book going on here, which is kind of amazing, so I'm impressed. But if I knew they were going to be this long, I think I would have cut it and done one bad ending and then I mean, we knew after doing the first one, but I have a feeling this one's also going to be like another 20 minutes or so. And like I said, I do need a little bit of a buffer. Maybe when we do the other love interest, we just have 2 longer parts for the endings, or this one is a long part, whatever, but I could use the buffer right now, again, like I said, so I'm going to take the opportunity to get me a little bit of a buffer, and we'll see, because obviously I'm recording this. I haven't done anything. I don't know if I'm going to edit the final, like the good ending part into, leave it as an hour and a half that it was, or if I'm going to cut that and like end it where the credits were and then do the after credit scene that was about a half hour or so on its own part. So you'll know before I know. You'll know before you get to this part. But obviously, like, I haven't done my editing yet, but I might get too lazy and be like, fuck it, I don't feel like doing an end part and then doing a new intro that says whatever, but just in case I've done that, you know that recording me today was earlier than editing me, who did the part that you saw the other day. I don't know. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.